By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Welcome to another episode of Timmy Talks, the channel where we talk old school magic. And today we are back in Vienna, Austria for Viennageddon. And this is a round number 2 match. And in round number 2, we're going to look at Matthias, who's playing a white Weenie deck. And he is taking on Patrick's blue-green Djinns deck. And this is exciting. You know, you don't see white Weenie that often in Swedish. So I'm excited to see it here at Viennageddon. And the blue-green deck, it's also interesting. Blue-green, a color combination you don't see that often. So I'm looking forward to discuss these decks with you in the deck tech section of this video. But before I do, first a message from our sponsor, 3for1 Trading. 3for1 Trading is one of Europe's leading Magic the Gathering retailers. Their online shop has a fantastic selection of high-end Magic cards, especially for vintage, legacy, and yes, also old school Magic players. But 3for1 Trading does more. They're now also buying all Magic the Gathering singles and entire collections, big and small. They're one of the top trading card game traders in Europe, buying way over 1 million Magic cards a year, and they are more than happy to make you an offer for your cards today. So if you have any cards for sale, 3for1 Trading is the place to go. Visit 3for1.gg/selltimmy to get your offer. And we are back and ready to dive into the deck techs, and I'm going to start with the player on the left, that is Matthias. Let's take a look at his white Weenie deck. And here we see the deck of Matthias, and Matthias, I love this, man. It's white Weenie, it's all black border, it's all core set. It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this. 4 Savannah lines, 4 Banalish Heroes, right? 8 1-drops. Then we're seeing 4 White Knights, 4 Mesa Pegasus, so 8 2-drops. And then at the top end, we have the 3 4/4 beautiful Sarah Angels 4/4 flyers that don't need to tap when she attacks. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Normally, if you play with other sets as well, except for just the core set, you would also have access to Thunder Spirit, a card that's usually used in these white Weenie strategies. But I'm loving the aesthetics of this. I can really appreciate it. And then we're also seeing 4 Crusades. Crusades, of course, really good in this deck because all your creatures are white. It's going to pump your entire army. And then we've got 3 Armageddons. I think Armageddon is key in this strategy, right? You want to dump your creatures, your lion, your knights, all your small stuff. Play it as fast as you can, slam that Armageddon on the table, destroy all the lands of your opponent and of course your own, but that doesn't matter probably because you've got so many creatures on the board already. And before your opponent can rebuild, your opponent is probably already dead. I mean, things go so fast. And what I always like when you're playing with this land destruction strategy is that you combine it with disenchant, right? Because you have to attack the artifacts. Your opponent is probably going to play with Moxen or Felwar Stones or other mana rocks. You have to attack those too. You cannot just destroy the lands and think it'll all be fine. No, with old school, you also have to have a way to attack the mana rocks. And disenchants, of course, is a very clean, efficient way to do so. Only 2 mana for this instance. So yeah, I mean, this is just looking like a very solid, quick deck. It's powerless as well, by the way. It may be nice to notice that at this tournament there was a special price for the powerless deck, so that's why we actually saw a lot of really cool powerless decks at this tournament. I really like that, by the way, giving a price to the best underpowered deck, because it kind of, you know, it challenges players, also players that maybe have a smaller collection or maybe don't have the power cards. They still have something to battle for, and I think that's really nice. Before we go, by the way, to the deck of the opponent today, I just want to highlight Reverse Damage. Reverse Damage, a card I like. I love it here as a one-off. I just want to mention and have a look at this card. Think about it. I think it's kind of a cool card. Anyway, this is the deck of Matthias. Now let's take a look at the deck of his opponent. And here we see the deck of Patrick. So this is blue-green Djinns, and I'm kind of excited about this because you don't see that many blue-green decks. So I just love the color combination. I think Tropical Island is also such a beautiful duel. When I think of blue-green, I always have to think about Sylvan Sinbad. That's just something that I have to do when I play blue-green. I'm also thinking about blue-green flyers, right? Flying Man, Script Sprites, and say Mutation, Giant Grove, like stuff like that. Surrender Befried, of course. Again, we're not seeing that here. So he's chosen to kind of take a different avenue here. And it's more a mid-range build, isn't it? He's playing 4 Urnham Djinns. He's playing the Mahamoti Djinn. He's playing 4 Suchis and, of course, 4 Mishra's Factories. That's kind of his creature base, right? And then when we're looking at the middle row, we're seeing all the power, by the way. And, of course, that Black Splash for Mind Twist and Demonic. You know, it's It's not that interesting. It's just good cards put together. But what I find interesting about this build is he's playing with 7 counter spells. So 4 counter spells, 2 power sink, and a mana drain. So that's kind of interesting. He's also chosen not to play with any green ramp. When you think green, you think Llanowar Birds of Paradise. It's not in here. But he is, however, playing with all the power, right? All the Moxen. So the Moxen will really ramp you up. I think what this deck is hoping to do is to ramp up with the Moxen, play out an early Suchi or Urn, and put some pressure on, keep counter magic, to kind of control the board, right? And from that point forward, kind of win, right? I mean, Magic can be that simple. And then, of course, he's also playing with 3 Psionic Blasts, which are great against, in this case, the 4/4 Serra Angels. We're also seeing 4 Crumbles. I think Crumble is such a nice, neat card. It's so efficient. 1 green, instant speed. I just love to use the Crumble to destroy Mishra's Factories. In this duel, by the way, they're not going to destroy any Mishra's Factories because the opponent of Patrick, Matthias, is not playing with any. I actually think Crumble in this matchup is going to be pretty bad. Probably going to be boarded out, or at least a couple of them will be boarded out after the first game. That's at least what I assume. But yeah, I mean, it's looking like a decent, or actually a good mid-range deck. And I think that this Djinn deck is definitely the favorite against the White Weenie. And I'll explain why. Because of all the Moxen. Because the Moxen are going to give Patrick the speed that he needs to play out his bigger creatures quickly, to prevent Matthias really to attack full on with the White Weenie creatures. And also the Moxen are going to protect him against the Armageddon. Now, of course, Matthias also has Disenchant, so it's not 1-on-1 is 2. I'm not saying that Patrick is definitely going to win. But he is the favorite in my book just because he's got all the power and because of that pace difference that he can make with the Moxen. I mean, Moxen and Lotus, they can really be game changers when you're playing against a swarm strategy like White Weenie. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Feel free to agree or disagree. But you know what? Let's find out. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's go to round number 2 of Viennageddon, White Weenie versus Blue-Green Djinns. Here we go. Game number 1 here is about to start of round number 2 at Viennageddon. And we see Patrick here, I believe, taking a mulligan here. And Matthias on the play, opening with a Savannah Lines, passing the turn. Here he's on White Weenie. Let's see what Patrick can do. Turn 1, Underground Sea, Black Lotus, cracking the Lotus. Turn 1, Urnham. Yeah, this is a problem for Matthias. Can he find the swords? That would be ideal. Nope. No swords to be found. Tapping 2 whites, Banalish Hero and Banalish Hero passing the turn. Yeah, this Urnham Djinn is such a showstopper for Matthias, who's having kind of a perfect start of the game. But the problem here is this 4/5 Urnham from Arabian Nights. And Patrick here turning it sideways. Yes, turning it sideways, attacking for 4. So Matthias dropping to 16. And there we see a strip mine stripping the plains, passing the turn. I think that strip is very good because you would think in White Weenie it doesn't matter that much. But look at this. He doesn't find a second plains, cannot cast at Crusade. That would have made a huge difference. If he could have played Crusade here, he would have hit Patrick for 6 instead of 4. No, for 7 actually. So that would make a huge difference. Here's the attack for 4 by Patrick, by the way. Matthias dropping here to 12. There's a Tropical Island, Demonic Tutor in hand there for Patrick. I wonder if he's going to play it out. And if he plays it out, I wonder what he's going to find with it. Cannot identify the 3rd card in hand, by the way. Perhaps it's a counterspell, and that's why he's thinking about, should I play it out or not? Because it seems kind of a no-brainer to go Demonic Tutor here. And then go for example, Ancestral Recall to refill your hand. But maybe Patrick's thinking, you know what, I could also do that next turn. Yeah, he is going to tap both here. Yeah, there's the Demonic. And like I said, I think he's going to go here for Ancestral Recall. And we really see the power here making the difference, right, for Patrick. And this is also what I discussed in the deck. Like, this was kind of my concern, you know, blue-green deck with all the power, that the Moxen and Lotus would make it so that Patrick could plays bigger creatures early in the game. That would be a showstopper here for Matt. Oh, there's a second white. Oh, there we see Crusade. I am loving this, to be honest. Attacking for 7. And we see Patrick dropping here to 9. Really good news for Matthias here. So let's see what Patrick looked up. Did he go for that Ancestral Recall, or did he make a different choice? All of a sudden now he is under pressure. Also remember that Matthias can next turn attack in a band, right? Banalish Hero, a 1/1 creature with banding. Now, of course, a 2/2 because of the Crusade. So He can make a pretty big creature. But we're not there yet. Yeah, there's the Ancestral Recall. That was kind of as to be expected. 3 cards being drawn here. So there's that Mishra's Factory. That could be a potential blocker, of course. But yeah, this is pretty problematic here for Patrick. For now, at least. He's on 9. Okay, there's a Mishra's Factory. Passing the turn, yeah. And I guess, I mean, Matthias should attack in a band here, right? Let's first see what he's going to do. Also has a Mesa Pegasus in hand, but I guess you first want to go to combat. That's all second main stuff. So yeah, really, it's really going to be interesting here. This step, this attack step. And Patrick already on 9, right? Yeah, he's going to attack in a huge band. Banding, baby. So this is a 7/6 bander. And of course, Matthias putting it back here because, yeah, it is a band. That makes a pretty big difference, Patrick, whether it's a band or not. So, 7/6 bander. Oh, man. Patrick's in trouble. I mean, he can block, but Matthias can choose how the damage is divided. He's going to block. Damage is going to go to the Benalish. And there we see another creature. Oh, but we do see a power sink. You're power sinking away the White Knight. Good move by Patrick. And, you know, Patrick really needs to find another big creature. Has, of course, the Mishra's Factory as well that he can use as a blocker. There's a City of Brass. And I believe he's got a Suchi in hand. There could go for Suchi. Then he has a blocker at least. So I'm going to go for Suchi. Take another damage. Go to 8. But of course, again, Matthias can attack in a bands here. And he can then, for example, trade the Savannah Lines for the Suchi. Or maybe he's got a Disenchant. That would be even better. I'm expecting Matthias just to attack in a band here. He's got another line in hand, so would probably trade. Also has a Pegasus in hand, a creature with banding as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what Matthias is going to do. What creature he's basically going to sacrifice for the Suchi. Is it going to be the Benalish Hero or the Savannah Lines? Attacking here again in the band. There's the block. Okay, Benalish Hero is gone because he's got that Pegasus. Yep, there we see the Mesa Pegasus 2/2 flyer with banding. Very important here. And this game is a really nice demonstration of the power of banding. The crumble completely useless here for Patrick. Does Patrick have another Djinn or a Suchi? Probably Patrick here asking about banding again. And this is really looking good for Patrick. Sorry for Matthias, of course. It's looking bad for Patrick. But yeah, let's see what he can do. So we see a crumble in hand. We see some lands or regrowth. It's all too slow. I mean, he could play a land and block on the Mishra's Factory. Right? And then he could also play a regrowth. Now he's got enough mana. He could regrowth Ancestral Recall. You know, and then I guess that would be your best bet. Hasn't played out a land yet. It's gonna tap 2 here, so I guess for the regrowth. Gonna go regrowth, yeah, Ancestral Recall, exactly. Gonna tap the City of Brass, drop to 7, Ancestral Recall again, so second time he's cast that Ancestral Recall. Okay, so he could go dual land, tap Soul Ring. Okay, he also has a Mox Sapphire. Could tap the Sapphire for the Soul Ring. Doesn't really have a big creature in there, I think. Now remember, Matthias also has a Chaos Orb in hand. And another Savannah Lines. And I guess if Patrick only has the Mishra's Factory as a blocker, Matthias is probably going to attack separate and not in a band. Here we see the Soul Ring. There's a pass. Okay, so that means that Patrick can now attack with the Lion and the Pegasus separately. And the Pegasus will fly over and deal 2 more damage to Patrick. And he's just attacking with the Lion. Okay. Sorry, with the Pegasus. And here's another Pegasus. Oh, it's so bad. Are we going to see a counterspell? Nope, no counter magic for Patrick. And I believe Patrick has a Mind Twist in hand there. I mean, that's okay. But the problem is you're going to die to those Two Benalish, Mesa Pegasus is there in the air. There we see another tropical island. I think Patrick's going to lose this. I don't see a way out for him. He had a great start with Black Lotus into Urna, but now he's with his back against the wall. Only 5 measly life left. Yeah, you can mind twist him. Sure, go ahead. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. The value is already on the board. And understandably so, Patrick is really in the tank here, realizing that it's probably one of his last turns here of the first game. That's the good news for him. It's just the first game. Oh, here we go. Desert Twister. I didn't identify that card. Desert Twister, pretty good here. Taking out the Crusade. Wow, and I love seeing that Desert Twister, a one-of in the deck of Patrick. Here we see another Plains. And I mean, one of the things he can do here is go Chaos Orb, flip on the Mishra's Factory, and then attack for 4. Could, of course, also decide to keep the Chaos Orb in hand here and just attack for 2, put him on 3. So has some interesting choices to make here. Also getting closer and closer to that Armageddon, by the way, because I believe he also has an Armageddon in hand. Armageddon, of course, being 1 white and 3 to cast a sorcery. Destroys all lands. But yeah, I think what I would do here is go for Chaos Orb. Flip on Factory, attack for 4. But Matthias choosing a different route. Gonna attack for 2 and then play the Chaos Orb. And passes the turn, I guess. Yes, passes the turn. And we do see Patrick, of course, having a Crumble in hand. So now that Crumble finally has kind of a role here, but it looks like it's too little too late. It's gonna go for the Mind Twist here for 2. So Armageddon, Savannah Line's gone out of the hand here of Matthias. There we see another Mox. Only 1 card left. Yeah, this is pretty problematic here. Patrick gonna activate, and here we see the Crumble. That means 2 more life here for Matthias. He's gonna go back up to 14. There's the attack. Patrick on 1. Oh, Matthias so close to winning game number 1 here. And that's it, Matthias winning a game number 1. And now both players are going to dive into their sideboards, and we will catch back up with you in game number 2. Game number 2 here is about to begin, so it's 1 game up for Matthias. That means Patrick is on the play, and I believe he's taking a mulligan, so has to put a card on the bottom. And yeah, let's see how things are going to go here in this second game. I was quite surprised how well Matthias' deck actually did after that explosive opening of Patrick. I think the key here was banning in combination with Crusade. That was really what gave Matthias the victory. Really nice demonstration of how powerful banning is. And now Patrick a little bit in the tank here. Has to decide what card he's going to put on the bottom here of the library. So he's going to start with a card less again. So starting with 6. And of course he's on the play after losing that first game. Kicking it off here with a City of Brass. Oh, look at that hand, though. He's got a, is that a Gloom there, but also an Ancestral Recall, I believe. Here we see a Savannah Lines by Matthias, turn 1. There's the Ancestral. Now, remember, Patrick had, of course, 2 Ancestral Recalls cast in the first game, but didn't give him the victory, though. And now let's see what Patrick can do here in this turn 2. Here we see a Mox Ruby. Oh, a Mox Sapphire. Lots of Mox in here. Gonna tap 4, no, 3. Okay, there we see the Gloom. So Gloom, of course, bad news for Matthias. It's really going to set him back. Attacking here for 2. So has to try to get enough planes out there so he can cast a Disenchant on the Gloom. And there's the second goal. Look at this. Oh, what's going on? Matthias picking up the card saying, you know what, double Gloom? Forget about it. Forget about it. And I guess, yeah, that's a win for Patrick, right? So both players are now going to shuffle up. And we're going to go to an all-decisive game, number 3. And I think, I mean, let me know in the comments. I think I would have at least played a couple of turns. Maybe you draw into Chaos Orb and you can get rid of one of the Glooms and, you know, maybe later play Disenchant, kind of get back into it. Anyway, that didn't happen. So both players are shuffling up. And yeah, let's go to game 3. Game number 3. Here we go. So Matthias on the play, kicking it off here with a Savannah Lines. That is what you want to do in life if you're the White Weenie player. Let's see what Patrick can do. Looks like Matthias took a mulligan, by the way. 6 cards in hand for him. Well, 4 after playing the Savannah Lines and the Plains. Patrick starting with a Tropical Island and a pass. There's the attack for 2. It's going to drop to 18. There we see a Soul Ring. And there's a Banalish Hero, 1/1 creature with Banding. Passing your turn back here to Patrick. Patrick also having a Soul Ring there in hand. Let's see what he can do. Can he find another Gloom? I mean, just cast Gloom and it'll win you the game. There's a Soul Ring. And, oh, Drop of Honey. Oh, that's such a good card in this matchup. That is such a good card. He's going to lose some creatures here. There's the attack for 3. I wonder if you're Matthias, do you want to keep feeding? Okay, there's a Disenchant, of course. I missed that. Had a Disenchant in hand. Perfect answer for him. Now he can play another Banalish. Because what I wanted to say is, are you going to keep feeding the Drop of Honey? Or are you going to say, you know what, I'm going to stop playing creatures until the Drop of Honey is gone. But the Disenchant saved the day here for Patrick, at least for now. And sorry, for Matthias. And Patrick has a lot of mana sources here. Playing out an Djinn, 4/5 powerhouse from Arabian Nights. And can he find a Crusade? Okay, he can find the Swords. Also good. 4 life gained here for Patrick. Also 4 life lost again with the attacks. Is going to stay on 15. And again, look at that hand. Again, having an Ancestral Recall in hand. Cannot complain about those Ancestral Recalls. Keeps finding them. Look at that. It's like he's playing with 4 of those. Keeps finding the Ancestral Recalls. That's, of course, great for Patrick here. And I believe there's another Urnham in hand. So he's going to tap 4. There we see the Djinn. 4/5 is back. I believe there's a White Knight in hand for Matthias, and then the card he picked up from the top of the deck. Sarah Angel. Oh, just missing a single land to cast a Sarah. That would be so good on this board. Here we see the White Knight. Counterspell, though, on the White Knight. Yeah, lots of counter magic in the deck of Patrick. 4 counterspells, 2 power sinks, and a mana drain. And yeah, I think Patrick is now going to kind of take over control. Also because I believe he's got a Mind Twist in hand. Not 100% sure, but I think I saw a Mind Twist. I would definitely fire off the Mind Twist now. There's the attack for 4. Going to put Matthias on 16. Another Urnham. Oh, another Urnham. Yeah, that is pretty devastating. I guess he doesn't have a Mind Twist, or else he would have played it. So, I guess I saw that one wrong. Anyway, casting the Djinn, passing the turn. And I mean, if Matthias can find another land and cast it Sarah, that would be quite good for him. Can attack here with the Banalish because it has Forest Walk, so it's going to put Patrick here on 14. And the thing is with Urnham is you can give the same creature Forest Walk twice, which is unfortunate for Matthias, of course. Gonna attack with both here. 8 damage taken here by Matthias, dropping to 8. Another creature hitting the board. Yeah, this is looking very bad for Matthias. I mean, what could save him here is if next turn he starts jumping and then finds a balance. That would be really great. There is a Disenchant. Disenchant on end step. No counter magic by Patrick, so the Suchi is at least gone. That's something. Has to start jumping next turn. Attacking for 1. It's very unfortunate. Oh, okay. This is good, Sarah Angel, because now he can block in a band. He can block in a band and then, you know, maybe put all the damage on the line and simply kill the Urnham and then take 4 from the other. He would drop to 4. So this is, yeah, this is a pretty big deal. You can see that Patrick is kind of like, okay, what to do now? Ooh, Psionic Blast. Okay, that's pretty much a no-brainer, actually. For a moment there, I thought the screen was frozen, but he just needed a moment to think. And yeah, I mean, for me, this, yeah, that's it. Matthias shaking the hand. So, Matthias, you're not the kind of player that just, you know, sits it out. You're like, okay, it's not working, you win. And that kind of, I guess, fits your White Weenie deck, right? It's also a Quake deck. So you're a quick man, right? Do you also drink as quick as you play Magic? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, Patrick, congratulations. You've got this one here, winning 1-2 against the White Weenie player at round number 2 of Viennageddon. And please join me next time, because then I'll be back with a round 3 match, and we can see these 2 decks in action. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss this matchup, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. And thank you. And before you go, please take a moment to like, share, and comment on this video. All these things are free and really help the channel move forward. Talking about moving forward, you can also become a patron of the show. Check out patreon.com/TimmyTalks for all the information.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. She rises early in the morning. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Early in the morning. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Put him in the scout to the hose my son. Put him in the scout to the hose my son. Put him in the scout to the hose my son.
Igitus figitus sumba kazee.